Hey, welcome back. Our next application here is to use what's called the regression. Okay. So you can see it's actually the fifth one. I jumped past statistics because it's not as commonly used. I'll do that in a later video. But for Algebra 2, pre-calculus, maybe even in calculus a little bit, and certainly statistics, but in some of our math classes, you might use regression analysis. Okay, so the first thing, if we go into regression analysis, gives us this place to enter data. Okay, so we want to put the data in. So that's what I'm going to put in 0, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, and 6. And what this represents is the number of hours that a student studied for a recent quiz. A quiz that's out of 20 where you can get up to 1 point extra credit. So you can go to 21 out of 20. And then the next thing, the y variable. So x is called the explanatory variable, while y is called the response variable, independent and dependent variable. We're just going to type in, you're just going to type in the scores that the students got on their quiz. So the student who studied 2 hours got a score of 14. This one's got a 14.5. The student who studied 3 hours got a 17. So there is these points that are related to a specific person who studied a certain amount of time and got a specific score. All right, so now that you have those points plugged in, we can go to the graph. And this is great because it uses an auto zoom, so it zooms for you. And I can just arrow right. And we've made our what's called our scatter plot. Okay. And if you were taking statistics, you describe the strength, direction, form, and context. So this is a very strong, positive, somewhat linear relationship between how much you study and the score you get on your stats quiz, implying that those who studied more scored higher. You can see, or hopefully you can see, it's probably hard to see, but down here there's an R value. It says 0.0977. So there's a really strong correlation coefficient. So it means there's a very strong positive relationship between these things when you analyze it linearly. Okay? And it gives you the X and Y values for each of these. Now it says calculate the linear regression on the data. So what you do is you go over to regression here. And you say, well, I want linear regression. So I like a plus bx. You can use mx plus b. I'm going to use a plus bx. Hit enter, and it puts it right on there for you. If I go right and left, I'm still in the points. If I go up or down, I can get to the line. So now I'm on the line. And for regression lines, they always go through x bar, y bar. So this is that point probably. It's hard to see. But it looks like that might be that point. Yep. And you can also see the regression equation. So the regression equation is right down here. So it's y hat, the predicted value of your score in the quiz, is equal to 9.9 approximately plus 1.9x. And what does that tell us, right? So if you were taking AP statistics or statistics of some kind, you'd say, okay, well, if you studied 0 hours, we'd predict you get about a 10, 9.9 on the quiz. And also for every additional hour you study, we predict that on average, your score would go up by 1.9 points or about 2 points. Okay. So that gives you this relationship. Okay, so there's the linear regression. So it says find the values of R and R squared. Well, you saw that we had our R value before. When I get off of the regression, it had it on the screen. But let's go up to statistics. And you'll see if you scroll down here, not only does it give you information about X and Y, but it gives you information about them together. All right, so let's go down here to our correlation coefficient. There it is, 0.977. And this is our regression. Y equals a plus bx. It gives you the y-intercept and the slope. Gives you the standard deviation of the residuals. And also gives you the coefficient of determination, which is r squared. So r squared is right here, 0.954. And of course, if you had r, you can get r squared. You just square it. Okay. Now it says make a residual plot. So that's the next part about this. So what we want to do is we want to go to the graph, and we're looking at this regression, and we have our model, which is linear, and there is our equation. There's r and r squared, and you can just choose residual plot here, and you just hit enter, and it gives you the residual plot. Now, if you don't know what residuals are, you probably don't need to learn this yet. You'll learn at some point, but I'll give you the brief overview. It's just the difference between what we saw happen, the scores that the students actually got on the quiz, and what a prediction equation would tell us they would get. So initially over here, what we saw happen was that they scored lower than we predicted. And then here in the middle, they scored higher than we predicted. And then here at the end, they scored lower again than we were predicting. Okay. So what that tells us, and if you took statistics, you'd say, okay, this tells us that it really shouldn't have been a linear model. Okay. Since this residual plot has kind of a clear pattern of being down and going up and going down, it makes a curve. There's a clear curved pattern in this residual plot. The linear model wasn't quite appropriate. Okay. So if you go back to this, you can see the points, and you can see that they looked relatively linear, but it's not quite right. Okay. There's a little bit of a curve to it. That was a little hard to see with just the scatter plot, but the residual plot, what it does is it magnifies that curvature. It magnifies those deviations. Okay. So what we'd really like to do is calculate a different regression. So we just go up to regression, and instead of choosing linear, we can go to a quadratic regression. And we can see this model. And in our quadratic regression, we get an R squared value of 0.988. And in our linear, it was 0.95. So a quadratic regression model is actually better than the linear. And you can see that it fits it better. And you can see a residual plot. This residual plot, the points are just kind of scattered above and below. So that means that this is a better fit. Okay? This quadratic model is a better fit. And there's the quadratic equation that you would use to model this regression. And again, what you're trying to do is you're ideally trying to maximize R squared. So that is a better fit. So that's how you do regression on the calculator.